presidential candidate just casually dropped anti-white racism in
the... I thought comedy was legal again ever since Elon Musk took over Twitter, but apparently not.
the middle of what was supposed to be a lighthearted video.
Supposed to be.
You know, Tim Walsh says...
Dude, the Matt Walsh Twitter page right now, the banner is literally an advertisement for his next movie, the hit sequel to What is a Woman, from the white guys who brought you What is a Woman, a comedy to DEI for Am I Racist? And this guy is getting offended over the tuna and mayonnaise white boy tacos joke. Also, the answer is yes. Crazy that a presidential candidate can just casually let out some blatant anti-white racism and nobody cares. Imagine if Donald Trump said that a black guy taco was made with fried chicken and watermelon, nuclear meltdown. I do like the fact that from the right-wing mind, these are the same things, you know?
That he makes white guy tacos, and Kamala says, what is that, mayonnaise and tuna? Like, that is anti-white racism. That's what that is. And if you don't believe that, right, if you think that I'm overstating the case.
I do.
All right, well, just imagine it the other way.
See, they maintain the delusional belief that genuine jokes are the same as thinly veiled hatred. You know, it doesn't work. You know why it doesn't work? Because the idea of like white guys can't handle spices, white guys tuna and mayo, whatever, none of this is shrouded in any kind of historical hatred or oppression at all. Nobody says this as a veil for genuine hatred. Whereas actual KKK type racists are constantly talking about black people eating watermelons and chickens. Something which, by the way, is completely nonsensical because everybody likes watermelon and fried chicken. They're literally delicious. Everyone loves them. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Imagine a black guy says to Donald Trump, I make black guy tacos. And Donald Trump says, oh, what is that, like fried chicken and watermelon? Maybe sprinkle some Kool-Aid powder over top? Am I right?
See? Now, I'm going to do a little bit of like body language analysis here, if you'll permit me the opportunity to do so. I don't think that Matt Walsh actually believes these things are equivalent. I just think he's delighting now in the opportunity to be racist with the veil of this being a, like, wouldn't it be racist if this happened, you know? I like, look at the way he looked when he said that. It's like, yeah, barely concealed joy of, now I have an excuse.
How do you think everybody would react to that? They would be weeping in the street. They would build statues and memorials to the lives lost because of the taco joke.
It's all whining, dude. Again, it's literally all whining. But I think that underneath the superficial whining, which is, I admit, very boring, I think the real whining here is, why can't I get away with it? You know? Like, why is it that Kamala Harris gets to get away with an errant comment about white people that was harmless and no one was hurt by it? Why can't I get away with wanting to build a white ethno-state and deport 20 million non-white people without it being considered racist? You know? Double standard, not fair.
KFC and Kool-Aid companies would come out and denounce Trump over this.
He's still...
So would every watermelon distributor.
See, he's really delighting in it. He's like, oh, I have an excuse. I have an excuse. You should be like Steven Crowder and just be really racist openly, you know, with like the black voice and stuff. Like, if you delight so much in the opportunity, you only have to shift. You just have to leave the Daily Wire and you can do it.
In the country. And we all know that. This is another one of those things where, like, there are people that are going to clip this. They're going to take this clip of me saying that the comment from Kamala Harris.
This is really pathetic and embarrassing.
The watermelon fried chicken trope for black people is actually significantly less racist.
My fucking God, dude. Okay, let's just... I feel like I've already engaged with the substance of the non-argument, so let's just see how far he goes with this. Let's take white grievance politics to their logical conclusion.
That sort of joke comes from a place of recognition and affection, really. Like, it's not offensive. There's nothing offensive. Like, fried chicken's great. Who doesn't like fried chicken?
See, this is the disingenuity that means you can never trust their word on whether or not they're actually being hateful. There's nothing offensive about it. Haha. fried chicken and watermelon jokes, even though I just reveled in doing it for like 2 minutes and talked about how offended everyone would be. There's nothing offensive. You know, the tuna and mayonnaise bit, that's basically like a little white Holocaust. But the fried chicken and watermelon bit, no one means that hatefully, you know? It's not like you can go find a fuck ton of racist comic art from like the 1980s of black people drawn in horrific, monstrous caricatures eating giant, like, sticks of fried chicken and watermelons with big bites, you know? It's not like you can't find racist cartoons and like Looney Tunes cartoons of them eating fried chicken and watermelon. Like, there's no hatred there, you know? It's the tuna and the mayonnaise bit that's really, really racist.
On the other hand, the mayonnaise thing for white people is
On the other hand, chokes back tear. The mayonnaise thing for white people, hands start shaking. That really hits people, you know? Literal genocide. You know, you thought you saw it in Gaza, folks. At least in the Gaza Strip, you can run. If you're a white boy, you can't run from this.
purely spiteful and hateful. There's no, there's not any kind of affection in it. There's not any kind of recognition. It's not something that actually comes from white people or white culture. White people don't.
What do you mean it doesn't? It's tuna and mayonnaise. It's tuna salad. What are you talking about, man? I'm revoking your white card. You're raceless now. You're like a racial equivalent of a person with no citizenship. It's over for you.
So it is an insult that some black people came up with to make fun of white people.
That's an interesting bit of projection. The fried chicken and watermelon thing was an insult created by white people to demean black people when the black people were slaves. The Mayo thing was not invented by black people to attack white people. Like, you can't, like, there was a broad cultural understanding, I guess, of the relationship between white people, white cuisine, and mayonnaise and tuna and what have you. But unlike the fried chicken and watermelon thing, where the origins of those comments as an insult can be very directly traced to the relationship between black people and white people as slaves and slave masters, the same can't really be said for this. Just an interesting bit of projection. The Mayo thing was invented by black slave masters to bully the overseers. Oh, wait, sorry. The Mayo thing was invented by the black slaves to bully their overseers. That's probably not true, but if it was, Matt Walsh would say those are the same thing.
So what Kamala said is worse. Like, it's significantly worse. And
I can't even say the name of this chain of restaurants, which was founded in the 20th century, by the way, after World War I. I can't even say it out loud. The woke mob will come after me. I genuinely would encourage people who are unfamiliar with the extent to which stuff like this was used to attack black people to, like, look at any history on it. This shit was insane, you know? The only real takeaway from this segment is that Matt Walsh wants to be able to make jokes about black people eating watermelon and fried chicken, much the same way that Steven Crowder eventually did end up gravitating in that direction with his content once he realized that he could get away with it, you know? That's pretty much it. Thanks for the history, Vaush. I hate it. Yeah, I don't know. They're not beating the weird allegations. They're not beating the weird allegations, like, at all.